Hi, it's Brandon Spillane from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about an exercise called the incline bench press versus chain. So this is a twist on the standard incline bench press. So here's what you're going to need to be able to set this up and then execute the exercise correctly. So you are going to need a bench, preferably a utility bench, or if you happen to have just a standard incline bench, that's all it's used for in your gym, that works great as well. But we use a drop-in 45 degree to 0 to 90 bench, in our power rack, and then we set up the J-hooks at the right position for our power rack as well. So you are going to want an incline bench, and I think a power rack is preferred. I think it feels better, it's a little bit safer, and you can get the J-hooks exactly where you want them. Now, that part's pretty normal. The chains are where things are unique. So I recommend getting the easy loaders from EliteFTS.com. They make loading chains tremendously easy. You can definitely buy leader chains as well. That works completely fine. And generally, most chain sets you're going to buy, a lot of times will come with a free leader chain. But I'm going to push Elite FTS Easy Loaders because I think they're the best way to get chains loaded on a bar. So, how to set up chains for the bench press. Watch that video on our YouTube channel. That will show you exactly how to set up chains perfectly. I'm briefly going to run you through this here really quick. So, over here, we've got our easy loader on the bar with the hole on here, and then I've got my chains with a carabiner on the top link for me. Depending how tall you are, well, depending upon where you would put this. So a taller person with their hands, as the bar gets higher because their arms are longer, they may actually need to drop this chain position to be able to get a preferred amount of loading. Now, what I prefer is that there are always going to be links on the bottom. So here I've got about 4 links on the bottom, 4 or 5 on each side, and then the other links here. So I've got probably about 15 pounds of chain on each side that I'm going to be starting, and then it will go into the ground. Now, same thing on the other side. Recommendations on chain weight, in most cases, if you're ever in doubt, about 20 to 25% of your 1 rep max for the particular exercise that you're using. So if you're a 200-pound incline bench presser, about 40 pounds of chain works pretty well, and in that case, that'd be 1 on each side, and that's what I have here. I incline a little bit more than that, but this is pretty good for what I need, especially for today's demonstration purposes. So once we've got all that set up, we're good to start the exercise. So we're going to sit on the bench. I recommend having your feet out just a little bit. I don't think tucking them works great for the incline. We just need to be good and stable for this. Once we're down here, we just want to make sure the bar is pulled all the way forward into the J-hooks. Line your hands up about what's comfortable for you. My recommendation is usually just start about your regular bench press grip and then adjust as needed if it feels too wide or too narrow. So that's what I'm going to do here. I like to personally put my ring finger on the ring, but I'm actually going to go with my pinky because I've done this before. I'm going to grab the bar, make sure my shoulders are set, keep my head back on the bench. We're going to press to unrack, bring the bar out over my chest, all the way down, touch my chest, and then back up. And then rack. So the chains provide a couple of unique things. One, because of the incline press can be hard on the shoulders for some people, this is fantastic because we're going to lose some of the load as we go down and the chains deload into the floor. So this makes it a little bit more shoulder friendly, which can be great for some people. The other thing is this is great to mix up your incline pressing if you happen to be an overhead athlete like a strongman or something like that. You definitely want to try to train your overhead more than you probably do your bench press. This is a good in-between exercise, and I really think this will help carry over to your overhead press, and particularly your lockout because of the chains. And as we press, more weight's coming off the ground, or more links are coming off the ground, that load is being applied to the barbell. So you will find that you are going to get some tremendous tricep improvement from this exercise as well. The other great thing is it can also be used for a dynamic effort standpoint. Again, if you're a strongman and you're trying to implement conjugate training into your training somehow, some way, I really think doing speed waves with an incline is probably beneficial rather than just always doing your speed work completely flat. Again, because you train and you compete more so overhead than you do laying on a bench. So that's how I would implement this. If you have any particular questions about how you would implement that in your training program, please feel free to leave them in the comment section and I'll get back to you on how that might be able to look in the whole program design. But when it comes to actually doing this in terms of sets and reps, again, if this is your conjugate kind of style and this is your max effort, probably 1 to 3 rep maxes. This happens to be a supplemental exercise, so it's not your main exercise for the day, but it's going to help build your incline bench, or it's going to help build your overhead press, and you're putting this as your second exercise. I think 3 to 4 sets of about 3 to 6 reps, sometimes even 8 if you happen to be more in a hypertrophy phase. Again, if you're doing the dynamic effort method, and you're probably going to look anywhere from 40 to 50% for probably 10 to 8 sets of 3. I will say, if you happen to want to do doubles, I understand, because this is a bigger range of motion than a standard bench press, but I think that's a good place to start, and you can tweak those variables as needed. So the key things, make sure you got everything set up right, so everything feels good, the bar is the right position, you're not going to reach to unrack it, you're able to keep your shoulders down a little bit, feet are good and flat to keep you stable. You got the bar rolled forward in the rack, so it's easy to unrack. Getting the unrack figured out on an incline bench can be a pain in the butt for anybody that's done it. So make sure you get that where you want it, especially on a heavy day. And then when it comes to setting up your chain, just buy some easy loaders and make it easy on yourself, or find a facility that has some, and you'll be completely good there as well. But this is a great variation. I think many people overlook the incline bench and all the different variations that are possible there as well, especially overhead athletes. I think they can find some good benefit from this. So if you have any question about the incline bench press against chains, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.